Ghouls and Goblins, welcome in for another exciting game of Blood Bowl coming up momentarily. Tonight we're going to have my first match in the Reddit Eternal Blood Bowl League Greenhorn Cup, and also my first match in general in the league. We are playing Chaos, Kratorg's Legacy, versus a necromantic team, Rex Lupus. Don't really know a whole lot about the coach. I've been told that the starting team configuration is something that has been kind of battle tested in the Reddit Blood Bowl League. So obviously this guy either knows what he's doing, is meta chasing, or more likely both. So we'll see how it goes. So seeing my starting lineup here, this is a little bit outside of my comfort zone for me because you'll notice that there is no big guy here. This is my first attempt without a Minotaur in Chaos. I'm going to try to level up some of the other guys before I add him to the team. Over on the Necro team, you'll see that there are the 2 Flesh Golems, 2 Whites, I believe 1 Ghoul, and 1 Werewolf. If I recall correctly, both teams will be starting with 3 rerolls. And let's see. We're playing Bashy Bashy. Let's punch first. Yes, so 1 Ghoul, 1 Werewolf. Remember that configuration, right? And yes, 3 rerolls for each. Let's see. Looks like... looks like they got the +2 fame on their roll, so that will be... Yep, Snake Eyes. So that's going to mean that the kickoff events are largely going to go in my opponent's favor for the entire match. That does not exactly make me happy, but it is what it is. Opponent is definitely defending the Ghoul and the Werewolf. Kind of to be expected. That Werewolf is going to try to feast on some Chaos Warriors throughout the tonight's match. It does make me happy. I know it's the smart thing to do, but seeing just the 3 zombies on the line and not seeing the Flesh Golems, I'm okay with that. Now, no star player points on either team. Nobody's leveled up. This is all team value 1,000, brand new teams. So no real considerations as to which beastmen go where. Definitely want all of our warriors on the line. Let's sneak this guy up just to throw in a little extra punch. And reminding myself of stats here. Okay, let's get things started. So, as I mentioned a moment ago, this is a part of the Greenhorn Cup in the Reddit Eternal Blood Bowl League. So, the point to the Greenhorn Cup is leveling up teams that are brand new, unused, in a little mini tournament to start their adventures into the larger Reddit Eternal Blood Bowl League world. Let's see, zombie down. And what do we want to do here? Would really like to have gotten a shot in on that Ghoul, but because these 2 guys are still standing, no chance of that. So suppose that was not really the right order of things, but The stuns kind of knocked me off guard a little bit. Now I'm left with no assist on that block. Let's get somebody in here. And go smack, smack, smack. No result. So let's leave this guy where he is. No, we're going to use this one. Shame. All right. Let's leave him as a screener for a moment and see what happens with our ball retrieval. Worked as hoped. So now, oh, what to do, what to do. Let's just pull you over. So this is going to be a little difficult for the first couple of games with Chaos. They're a team that has a lot of top-end potential, but not a whole lot of starting utility. 2 player types on the team. We've got the Beastmen that come equipped with horns that give them +1 strength on the blitz. And we've got the Chaos Warriors that just come in with high armor and high strength. So no native rerolls anywhere, but hopefully we will find our way to bashing through some of these guys and hopefully turning that into a couple level ups. Well, that's a lovely start to the game. So we are now 10 on 11 for the rest of the game. Absolutely lovely. Honestly would have expected that to have come from the werewolf, but I suppose he didn't really want to put himself in a situation where sorry, slight interruption there. Hopefully I don't completely lose train of thought. Oh, yes. So I don't think the werewolf really wanted to put himself in a position where he might have been pulled in further by the frenzy. Speaking of, I would really like to get that werewolf off the pitch, if at all possible. Involve a go for it roll. That would not. Yeah, let's see if we can't blunt this advance just a little bit. Werewolf down, and survey says, oh, well, if I look at hope. And I got all excited about the fact that the werewolf was vulnerable to a hit that I did not do my proper action ordering. Forgot to stand up my players. For shame. Alright, I don't really want to get himself in too much trouble, but let's go ahead and bring our ball carrier up a little bit just so that he can be supported. And now we're a little safer to throw some random blocks around. Not good. Even worse. Yay. Yep, that pretty much sums it up. Damn. So I'm a little surprised by that. When the zombie moved in against the Chaos Warrior, I had instant visions of the Flesh Golem blitzing after that. I suppose he's just looking to tie up some players, which probably okay with, but maybe our werewolf wants to be the one using the blitz this turn. Most important thing in my book is keeping these two fast movers tied up so that they can't do anything to intercept our ball carrier. All right, so I see where my opponent's priorities are. Leveling up his whites. So based on that, I do believe my basing priorities will be not involving putting someone in base contact with the whites, if at all possible. So in this case, I'm hoping that this beastman right here can block that zombie and use that to get away. Wow. Yes, you are correct, sir. This is stupid. But you know what? I'll take it. The number one reason I'll take it, we're not committed to this team. So, stepping back for a moment, I've mentioned a couple of times that this is a part of the Greenhorn Cup for joining the Reddit Eternal Blood Bowl League. The Greenhorn Cup does give players a chance to get some starting experience with their team of choice and get a head start on the new season. But one of the big factors is you're not committed to the team. If you play your 4 matches of the Greenhorn Cup and decide that you don't actually like the team that you're using, you can just drop them out and pick up a new team. So if we end up taking lots of injuries, we're covered. So that's one of the reasons why I picked Chaos for this, because they do have that kind of rough start where they don't have a whole lot of skills available to them. It just kind of made sense to me that we might find ourselves with a opportunity to try out a team that needs a little help to get started without committing to it long term in case things did not go well. Alright, don't really want to be doing a whole bunch of dodges. So, guess we're just gonna slide back over this way. So this is a little on the risky side, but hey, that's what we're here for, right? No guts, no glory. Generally, bad move right there, but hoping that we can find a way to get away with it. Really, we should not have based up the ball carrier like that. Is what it is. And we will see what happens. Oh, there's that werewolf going to work. Where's that werewolf? There's that werewolf. Fortunately, Claw does not end up having any effect. But we have left ourselves in a position where there's at least a 1-die block with block available on the ball carrier. Thought it might have been worthwhile to cancel out the assist on that last block I threw over here. Didn't really work out that way. I'm kind of okay with it because I am mostly here for the star player points, like we've discussed in the Upstarts League for Get Medieval. And again, we're not committed to the team. This is already going to be a rough game anyway with the 2 early casualties. Now the question is, does he want to scatter the ball and see what happens? He does. All right, well, that pretty much commits him to winning the ball. I don't suppose commits is the right word, but it's going to be hard to get to. We'll put it that way. That sounds a bit more correct. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? There are no good answers. This is just going swimmingly. All right, no good blocks anywhere. No good blocks anywhere. This is almost starting to look like the entirety of our star player points for the match might be the 5 that we get for the MVP. It's still early, though. We'll see what happens. So I guess I'm kind of happy that I got a couple tackle zones on the ball, but they're about to come right back off. Kind of surprised we spent the blitz there, but it all works out in the end. Well, this is fun, right? We're having fun. Not gonna lie, it would make me pretty happy if he moved him further out of there for some reason and left the ball carrier exposed. No such luck. Speaking of no such luck, we are having no luck at all here. Okay, yay, we got something. Granted, he's probably going to regenerate and come back. No. Hey, something stuck. All right. Now then. Yep, he's going to stand firm. We'll throw a couple more funsies blocks. All right, and now for a very important move. An important move that fails. We're going to keep our reroll. So I was hoping to kind of pin this ghoul in a bit and not give him a free run at the end zone, but no such luck. The annoying part about all of this is that my opponent has not had to spend any of these rerolls yet. Curious as to where he'll end up putting the ghoul here. He's got plenty of movement. Can pretty much go wherever he wants to. Don't feel like my opponent's dice have been particularly hot, but he hasn't failed anything yet. We'll put it that way. Now this is a bit of a surprise. I don't guess too much, but it's a welcome one. It's a very welcome one. Well, now what? We're definitely going to stand up as many players as possible. Let's see if we can't get a couple extra tackle zones on the ball. That's just lovely. Is what it is. We'll try that in a second. Well, at least a temporary removal. And lovely. Press your luck long enough, and sooner or later something will come up bad. But again, I don't feel like I've seen any double pushes, any push skulls, anything like that. It feels like my opponent has gotten at least a result on pretty much every block, which is okay. Well, just had to talk about it a little bit more. So let's see his turn for quad skulls somewhere. was about to say, I'd be really surprised if he didn't advance the ball. Okay. So I guess that's kind of the extended version of quad skulls. I know my opponent is from somewhere in Europe. He may not get that joke. Maybe he does. I don't know. So, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's get you closer to the action. And see if we can't make some form of magic happen here in a minute. So it is turn 7. I may have already messed this up. Let's see if we can't get somebody in the possible scoring range. So we'd have to do a go for it on both turns with that. All right, by bringing that warrior in, I may have just committed myself to not scoring in this half. I suppose this guy can get slightly better chance depending on how these blocks work out. But first, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Sure. Why not? Survey says, sure, why not? Nope. I don't know. It's a bad situation. Just made it worse, but whatever. Don't think we're winning this game. We'll put it that way. Personally, I'd be tempted to put that white over here and blitz over with the werewolf because there's not a whole lot of ways that I can get at the ball, but apparently we are determined to get star player points via the pass. Does he risk the go for it to score this turn? There's really no need to. No, we don't risk it. That's interesting. I guess now we're trying to take the minimum amount of blocks in return on this last turn, which makes sense, I guess. All right. So is there a way for us to possibly get to that ghoul this turn? Doesn't really look like it. Yeah, this is just not going to be our night. Especially not when we're not getting any results whatsoever. All right, so we only get one more block. Let's make sure it's going on somebody armor 8. Why would I have expected anything other than that? Okay, in the half and move on. I just have to hope that my KO wakes up and his doesn't. Comparison of coin flips there. All right. You know things aren't going well when I start skipping cutscenes because I want to get this show on the road. And that's exactly the opposite of what I wanted. So we are down 9 on 10 and playing defense. That's lovely. All right. Let's see if we can do anything with this. Truthfully, I kind of expect a fast scoring attempt here because I'm not going to be able to keep up with that ghoul. But if I play everybody back, then my line's just going to get decimated and I'm not going to get to do anything in return. So, it is what it is. Hopefully that will at least somewhat slow down his advance. Alright, so does the werewolf push him out of bounds? Taking bets. 3, 2, 1. That's a no. That's a no from him, dog. Hmm. Good move there. Keeps the assist on this side. And now gets a block with this Flesh Golem. And again, there was one result that did not include a player down for me. And in that case, it just put him in position to block with somebody else and put that player down. All right, so let's see if we can't do something here. We can't, because these guys are in the way. So let's get creative, shall we? I was just kind of hoping to put a player down that way, but meh. I will take what I can get. At least we did get to only being one player down now by taking advantage of the free KO there. Yep, he really wants to get those whites in on the action. Risks would go for it to do that. Tell you what, guys, this is just going swimmingly. Don't really understand that one. You've done a lot of good work already this turn, and yet you spend a reroll to keep a zombie on his feet. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, honestly. Whatevs. Just keep punching. See what happens. Get a nice view of the ref's backside there. Wonderful camera work, guys. Wonderful. All right, so he asks for the push there. Bit of a surprise, but I'm okay with it, I guess. Probably shouldn't have followed that up, but whatever. Hey, freebie. Not at all something I expected there. But the regen brings him back. Yep. Hey, that's bonus points. All right, and then survey says another freebie. Oh, I was hoping to be able to call that. Yeah, stun works for now. All right, this is getting greedy, but let's get a little closer in over here. I want to at least put some pressure on him. Because now you can't afford to take any blocks that are going to make you spend rerolls. Because you have to be able to pick up the ball this turn, right? All right, well, at least I made you do something. Made you pull some players back, I guess. All right, we can get there. It would require 2 go for it's and a dodge, which we're not entirely comfortable with. But let's see what we can make happen. All right, we might be up on the player count at this point. Yes, because that flesh golem is taking a breather. Getting greedy, want something to work. Why not? At least I acknowledged that it was greedy. Hey, that's one of the best defensive results we've seen all night. All right, so we've got the players to make most of a cage. Oh no, we can get there because the werewolf forms the last corner. Knew I was missing somebody. Oh, we're going to try to pass the ball into the werewolf again. Wow, so many chances. That's the one thing that I have going for me is that he can't catch the ball for anything. Well, now what? Oh, what to do, what to do, what to do. All right, let's get some hands on the ball carrier. And now we hope. And we also continue to push. All right. Well, we got some good pressure on here. And having the two warriors in makes me feel pretty good. Because there's no real easy blocks here that don't require dodges. Which means we might have bought ourselves a little bit of time to blitz in some reinforcements even. But that one works. So now this one becomes a one die block if you want to try for it. All right. Ooh. Things are looking good-ish. So now the ghoul can dodge out with no modifier. And support there, yeah. It's a good move. But instead, you got greedy. I don't know if greedy's the right word for it, but you got knocked down. That's the important part. I want that guy to be able to support. First, let's get some pressure on the ball. So, see if we can clear folks off the ball. Let's go ahead and slide you over here. I'm not worried about that zombie. Definitely rerolling that first one. And hey, let's get some free pickup attempts. Well, that's not exactly what we were hoping for there. So we're going to slow ourselves down for a turn here. All right, additional free pickup attempts. Don't mind if I do. And hey, another removal. We might be able to tie this up. Okay. Not great bounces, but well, at least it moved towards our target, the end zone. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, are we out of rerolls already? We are indeed. All right. Well, this is fun. All right, so now I really want to surround the ball just in case the pickup attempt fails. Truthfully, I wouldn't mind if Chaos Warrior was the one to score here. So we might try playing dumb, and I mean they're AG3. They could potentially do this just as well as anybody. So I guess I actually should have went ahead and tried the pickup there, but it is what it is. All right. Development League. Yay. So I'm going to try to be a little smarter about building this Chaos team compared to my last one. I went kind of willy-nilly and didn't have a set plan in mind for how I was going to develop my Beastmen. The Chaos Warriors, you know, there's some pretty obvious defaults. But with the Beastmen, I want to make sure that I've got 2 ball specialists. That's been one of my biggest downfalls in a league where I played Chaos for a little while. And I don't feel like it hurt me as much as it could have, but it definitely didn't work out great not having a second ball carrier because a few players knew to do their proper targeting. And kind of punished a bit for not having a backup ball carrier. So I want 2 ball carriers. I want 2 that are going to specialize in ball retrieval, that are going to be like wrestle, strip ball setup. Hey, free points. Ooh, that's a rough one. Yep. Fortunately, it was just a zombie. Anyway, so yeah, two ball carriers, two ball retrievers, and then a couple of killers. I think that's a good spread. And the big deal behind the name and the naming scheme of the team here, my team is Kratorg's Legacy. The idea behind the team is that we've got a whole bunch of worshippers of Kratorg. We have his herald, we have his enforcer, we have his believer, and we have his apostle. Kratorg was the Minotaur on my previous team for Chaos, and he was a legend in his own right. So Kratorg Jr. might be seeing the pitch this time around. I don't know, 4 or 5 games in, maybe. Let's not get crazy. Just go ahead and score and go home. But yes, Kratorg is my favorite. I took Claw on him right out of the gate, not really knowing what I was doing. Then he managed a plus strength, and then I realized we had a lot of AGI teams in the league. We could do some fun stuff. So I took the plus strength, and then I took tentacles, and then he was just a holy terror handing out free hugs. It was awesome. So I want to bring him back if at all possible. I might fire a couple Minotaurs until we find the right one of Kratorg's love children that are off wandering in the wilderness to bring one in that gets plus strength and give out more free hugs. Anyway, about this match, I was very happy to come away with a tie here. Kind of lucky. Oh, that hurts getting the MVP on the plus strength zombie there. Or sorry, minus strength, not plus. So that's just 5 development points that were lost to the wind. Yeah, I came out a little bit better than I thought in all of that. Because we know this zombie's getting fired. That's a total of 8 star player points that actually stick there. Here we've got, 17? So, yeah, okay. Everything moved in the right direction. No level ups, but you don't really expect that in the first game. Actually, let's look at the dice rolls just to kind of get some confirmation here. Yeah, failed a few more armor rolls than I would have expected with a predominantly high armor value team. 67% on both of the dodges that I failed, and neither one of them came off, so that's a little bit low. 0 wake-ups. Whatever. What are you going to do? Pick up and pass 100%. Can't ask for better than that. 100% of the go for it. Can't go ask for better than that. Then on the blocking dice, that's kind of where I felt like, this was the outlier. Low on the stumbles. Everything else looks pretty average, but that hurts because that's statistically 75% of the total of the player down results that you would hope for or expect. Coming back the other way, looks like we're a little lower than average on the pushes and a little higher than average on the defender down. So yeah, that's about how it felt too. On the D6s, a little high in the middle, but nothing to be concerned with. Kind of funny that the two lowest, well, not the two lowest, but two of the three lowest were the 1s and 2s, yet they failed where it mattered. The pickups were way lower than they should have been for him, and the passes and catches were pretty low too. That's honestly the only reason I feel like I was kind of in this, is because that failed handoff or pass a couple of times looking for extra star player points on the werewolf really ended up biting my opponent. I appreciate it though, because that gave me the half result. Not that we're really looking for wins and losses in this, but it also ended up giving me the star player points, being able to score with the Chaos Warrior there at the end. All right, well, I hope you didn't look too closely at any of the bad decision making that was done in that game, but I hope you at least had a entertaining time watching. I know I had fun playing that match. My opponent was a proper gentleman about things, consoled me when necessary about dice, and was very flexible with me in scheduling tonight's match, and I can't tell him how much I appreciate it. All right, so hopefully these guys will be a little bit more dominant in their next performance on the pitch, and I hope to see you all tune in for that. Thank you, and good night.